Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, Rosie and Karina, psych investigators.
Hello.
So, guys, welcome. Today is Friday, February 28th, the last day of the month. And what a day! What a time to be alive. So, I posted earlier the link to everybody. I think everyone's seen it. It seems like the ridiculous situation that happened in the White House with Zelensky. Um, so they were harassing. I did not watch the whole thing because it is so extremely upsetting. And the guy JDVance, he's saying that energy that he has of like he was bullying Zelensky. It was just like so ridiculous. But what it did is one of those instances that I think really galvanizes people to support Zelensky even more
Uh-huh.
because they were so ridiculous. And at some point, Karina, oh, and by the way, so this is that. And now I sent Karina the video, and but by the way, as we discussed yesterday, right? Karina, in a way, is more sensitive, right, Karina? It's fair to
Yeah.
say that, right? You're more sensitive than I am because she feels it in her body. So she has to be careful about what kinds of things she watches because it's really, I would say it's even beyond triggering to you. You just feel it in your body. So it's very painful. So I said, Karina, you don't have to watch it. But we could talk about it together. And so that's what we're going to do. She has not watched it. Go ahead. You were speaking to your sister, right, Karina?
Yes, I was speaking to a relative and she was telling me about it and was watching it and said she had to turn it off. It was just too infuriating. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much about the time Rosie sent it to me. But she's absolutely right. Stuff like that just goes right through my body and sticks with me. So
Yeah.
I don't usually watch any of this stuff until Rosie tells me, to be honest, because I can't. It's just too,
Yeah, it's
it's
right.
just too hard.
So,
Rosie knows what I go through.
right, yeah. So no, Karina is just. And by the way, I want to say something here. I want to say I want to say something. So I know people's nice comment about, oh, Karina, she's not like this, she's not like that. But Karina, she's everything she said about me is correct. All of her predictions are true. Like really, Karina, right? Like everything
Yeah.
you would say, and especially the things I don't want to hear. She really says it, and I'm like, okay, and then it happens. So I just want to say that, you're wrong about this. Okay. All right. So
Thank you.
anyway, no,
Thank
it's good. It's good. Uh, so, um, so let's do
you.
protection.
Well, and I don't think you'd have me here if you didn't trust me.
That's right. Truly, right?
Right.
Okay. So I have crystals because it is, it's and also this one is kind of a love cleansing crystals and other things. Okay. So I like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources that it create the good and the good. And so it is. And also, before we even play the video, I like to create a circle around Zelensky to
Mhm.
protect him always from the devils, those creatures, I don't know how to describe them, these things that are up there speaking to him, speaking.
Yes. The lowest form of energy.
That's right. And then I saw because immediately as I look, this is the other irony. The immediately as I was watching it, looking at feeling Zelensky, the amount of protection that he has is crazy. Like spiritually,
Hmm.
he's protected, and those people got so. This is what the other thing that I want to say, Corinne, but then we'll get started. But it was just going to say this that I felt their energy feeling more and more diminished. That of JD Coward and trash. They were both deflating, deflating, deflating. Because the more they expose their tongue, their forked tongue,
Hmm.
the more we see them for who they are, and the stronger the light gets. This is the sad irony of it all, is that, right? Is that the sad
Hmm.
irony meaning that they're going all the way. And when some of the passages going on that I saw Trump saying, like, he was chastising, then they were both ganging up on Zelensky, and Trump would say to him, "Oh, but you don't." He was like, "Oh, you don't agree with Putin. You're not thankful to put." Like he was saying that to Zelensky's face. Like, how could you possibly, after everything they're going through over there, right? Like giving their
Right.
lives and being like children, you know, like all the things that happen. I can't even, you know what I mean? Like to them.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's just like it's really exhausting. Not exhausting is the word. It's just like is just this thing that it feels like it's so wrong. This thing is the epitome of wrong. It's so wrong, it's evil. So
Right.
but again, they are so weakened. And I even think, Ren, I don't see that any, unless you're truly, because I think a lot of okay, I'm not justifying them or something like that, but some, I don't know that they even know. I don't think that the average MAGA person cares about Putin particularly. No, I don't think they do at all, actually. And you just look at the way they're talking to him. It's just sickening.
It
So
is.
so let's start. Let's
Okay.
okay, so let me share.
Okay.
Okay. So I found this is different. The headline, it was from the Telegraph, and then I found this other one. A Telegraph is a conservative newspaper in England, but this one is not because of the headline was something like it descends into a shouting match, but it's like I'm sorry, it's because this man. So here we
Yeah.
let me get the cross here because
Yeah.
it is a hard thing to watch. Okay, so let's go. And then we're gonna pause and and we can pause for a long time. But I'm like, ugh, okay, all right.
Of the war,
But
but
you're saying you don't want to see.
I said to you,
I want to
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
Doesn't
with
matter for
me.
you what
That wasn't with me.
It
That was
wasn't
with
you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person. Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, you know, him either.
Okay, Karina.
God almighty. Oh my God.
So and I it didn't because how the way the other channel that I had seen, okay, let me just stop share here for 1 second because I had seen another video where let's see okay, I want to show you the other because it showed how it started with
He broken.
okay, so let's go to this part because I want to show you the part where JD Vance starts, okay? And
Okay.
I think it's even I don't know, it's just so vile the whole thing. Well, let's go to this one.
This ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean? He broken this ceasefire.
Mr. President,
JD, you are speaking about. What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
to Ukraine, did you say what problems we have?
I have been to
Count one.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
Yeah,
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
Okay, Karina.
Oh my God. I need a baseball bat in 10 minutes.
I mean, the way that this guy, I don't know what to say. I mean, the way thing, I don't know how you're feeling if you're watching it for the first time because it
Yes.
takes some time to like process.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I just want I'm telling you, I want a baseball bat in maybe 20 minutes. Oh my gosh. I can't handle it. It's just so egregious, so disgusting. First of all, what the hell are you doing in that Oval Office? You have no right being there. JD, what the hell are you doing sitting there? You know you're not supposed to be there. I mean, come on. And then they try to tell this man who's actually a man who's fighting for his country that he's being disrespectful because he wants peace when, we offered you peace. No, you didn't. You offered to take a piece of their country and give it to Putin. I just can't.
So,
Yeah, I
and
gotta process that.
and if you look, if you look even the thumbnails here, like here it is. JD Vance is a piece of S. Like this is the people. This is how angry you get when you watch this, because this guy, he's just like the evil little like minion, right?
Yes,
JD
yes,
Shady Vance. And so, and the fact that they're ganging up, they're imagine the amount of pressure that they're putting. They got him in public, they have the cameras rolling, and they're punishing him. So for who wins with this? Putin, right? So it's really like, and I see that even Mark Rutte, our friend, he is like, even he has a temperament of a person, not like me. Because
or me.
because when I swear, if I saw this guy, I would be like, if I ran into him, I would like, but then he'd probably go to prison for a long time. But it's like how let me tell you about this respect right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's really like the amount of like it's so sick, because it's also that you would, let's say let's say theoretically like that he was doing this for, like that is actually for the US, but he's not. He's doing it as a puppet of Putin.
exactly.
Even worse, like it's just so sick that he's just, nobody's kidding. Nobody is lying into this, I don't think. And I see,
No.
you know what, I'm seeing the face of Sean Hannity of all people being like, oh, like it's just, I
Yeah,
don't think anybody can like say that with a straight face. That's just
no.
unacceptable. It is disgusting. So that's, and then like the way that, I mean, but I get from Zelensky, even though he's asserting himself, he's brilliant. I mean, there's no, I don't say like he's like, he has Jesus like character. You know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah,
has
it
purity
does.
of the heart. He has
Yes,
purity of the heart. He's fighting for the right things. He's doing the absolute best. It's like watching the man be crucified, but he's not. This is what I feel like, that he is not, like he's dealing with these bullies, but he deals with it all the time. So
right. He's
so
not
the
afraid of
people
it.
that look bad are them, right?
Yeah,
So so so
that's
and
what it
then,
is.
and you know the other thing I think, and then we'll look into it, is that I pick up that, you know how, oh, Macron, we didn't talk about it. We have to talk about it, Karina. Macron, when did we talk about it? I don't think we talked about it.
No, we didn't.
So Macron came to the White House, and then he had a really funny face. And like clearly he did something that he made Trump drop the demands on the deal, so-called deal for Ukraine, which was better for Ukraine. And then I feel like this meeting is Trump acting out to make him look tough in front of Putin. Does it make sense?
Yeah,
Because in fact he gave things to Zelensky. Does it make sense?
yeah.
And like this is the way, it's a bully kind of way, but it's not. It's like at the end, Zelensky has already won.
Hmm.
So does it make sense what I'm saying? Like how,
Yes, it does. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So
It's like a little show for their boy.
mhm,
Yes,
mhm.
we're doing what you told us to do. Look at me. Look how good I am. I'm being your obedient little worker. No.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So okay, so now I can okay. Corinne, do we? I kind of feel like we should we can watch the rest later, but I kind of feel like we kind of have enough to start to look at
Yes.
into what each one of them was, like what the plan was, and who, because then I'm imagining, is this something that, because the way that things are going, it's obvious that Putin is he's in total control here. So is this something that Putin asked, or is this something that they thought they could do to make Putin think that, okay, does it make sense?
Okay. Yes.
So so let's look what was the plan, because they invited Zelensky. What was the plan, and has the plan changed? Like did something change between the initial plan and what happened? Let's see.
Okay. Oh,
Toby? Is that Toby?
yeah. Yes.
Hmm.
I think Putin knew about it. I think Putin directed it. Sorry, I'm just kind of listening to Tobes. But I feel it's going horribly wrong.
Yeah,
It's not going the way Putin wanted it to go.
because so what I see here, when I look at Putin, is that Putin has this face of like, I told them to do something. I was telling them, get Zelensky to sign off country. I need the country for me. I invading. I taking.
Yeah.
That is why I put you over there. You go, you give me Ukraine. That is why this happening.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of, the Putin face already like, he kind of knows he's lost it. That there's something about the way that they changed the deal that of course, Putin is completely out of control, right? He's living in his own, like, crazy mind that he's like, I need to have Ukraine with me. I winning. I tell him I'm winning. And then
He
go
thinks
to
he is.
that I'm winning. I'm winning. You got to act like I'm winning. But he knew kind of like that it's too late, that he didn't get what he wanted from this deal already, Putin.
Right.
And so they're doing this thing, and they thought, oh, let's try to shake him up a little bit more, and to act as if this thing has gone down when it actually hasn't.
Right.
So that's the thing that I feel, is that in a way they're acting tougher because they've been softer, in fact.
Yeah. And as you're saying that, I pick up that the German elections had a lot to do with that, and the Romania situation, because it brought it more to the forefront of what's actually happening. And so Putin, in his panicked way, is get me the country and get me the country now, because I do believe he can feel it crumbling. It is. That was a big setback for them if they didn't get Germany. And then Romania happened, and it's just, so now it's crumbling for them. So it's either get me Ukraine now, or it's not going to happen. So it's not going the way he is, because Zelensky is not giving in.
And I also feel like it's and then I see again Mark Rutte going to Zelensky. Hey, Zelensky, I have all the arms, you have all the support you need. Here's the money, here's the arms. Don't listen to them. And so this is something that Trump was not expecting, because remember when the first time the war started, when they invaded Ukraine, and Zelensky was so dependent on, right? Or was it before? I know, actually it was around the time of his impeachment. He was pushing Zelensky so much. This is before the invasion, I guess, and because it feels like it's so long. He's been
hard to remember.
But when it first happened, Trump was so like on top of it, and then people were like less prepared.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Europe was so fast and provided support so quickly that they kind of lost. They're not really the only predators in the game. They're not the only like powerful people who can like do things. So
right, exactly.
So he's acting, it's like it's a play, and say, Rosie, what you're reacting to is that it shows me that it's interesting, the pantomime, like JD is like dressed like, oh, hello, here I am, and I am going to get you. Why don't you sit down, Zelensky, and say, and oh, what are you doing? You're creating you, and the way he's sort of like, he went to law school, right? So he's kind of doing the lawyerly thing, like, well, why don't you just admit that you use propaganda? That you're throwing people, you're letting them die, aren't you? And it's like, it's so theatrical that it's not real. This is the thing that is about this is the thing that is one. I mean, there's a lot of infuriating things about him, but he's essentially a very inauthentic person. He's not just a liar, because Trump is a liar, but there's something endearing sometimes about Trump. Like he has talent as a con man, whatever you call it, right?
A snake oil salesman. Yes.
Right. But JDVance does not, and he is he is very much not a what you call it. Like, he is not credible in any way. He's so fake, and he has that like ass kisser vibe to him.
Yeah.
He's just doing it to please the powerful people. Oh, I'm saying it because someone's gonna say, "Good job, JDVance." Right, and so
he's such an empty vessel. There's nothing there.
That's
And
right.
you can see right through the authenticity. There is none. There
Mhm.
is none. He's not sincere. It's, you know what? It's like somebody standing up rehearsing their sales pitch,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's how they deliver it. You can tell it's a rehearsed speech. It's a
Mhm.
rehearsed sales pitch, and you're like, don't you have anything original? He's just like a rock. There's no even my rocks have more personality than him. It's like there's nothing there.
Mhm.
So you can't come across authentic when you're not. So for him, he's just a puppet of Putin and his bosses, Teal, Leon. He's just that man.
Oh,
Use me and abuse me.
well, and I see interesting. I also got that just now that JD Vance is even more obnoxious than before because he really thinks that now he has to show Putin that he could carry the water for him so that if something happens to Trump, he can always take over. He's ready to take over. I'm
Yeah,
even more of an ass kisser than Trump is. So,
yeah, yeah.
so interesting. But then I see that after this, that Putin I am tired. I go to bed early today. I am tired of these people. They are clowns. Nobody believe him. Nobody believe in him. You see, he looks like a clown man. He looking like, oh, nobody believe him. Nobody believe him. He's too soft. Look at him, a big cheeks. He big cheeks.
It does.
Oh, look at him. Oh, he is kisser. Is kisser. Not a tough guy. You need to be tough guy. No, nobody believe it. Nobody believe it. So
No.
So damn it, I pay money. I put my hacker people for this trash.
Yeah, that's what they
The
did.
trash. Now everybody hates them and everybody loves Zelensky. Look at the Zelensky, he angel. Zelensky, look at him. He little guy, nice guy. Everybody loves Zelensky because of him. No, really, because even if
He did. He gave him a boost.
right, it's because I don't care. I've never had seen anything bad about. I had no ever never had anything bad to feel about Zelensky. But even if somebody had found something, this would exonerate him immediately. Even if there is one person like Zelensky's like this, you look at that and you're like, you were immediately on Zelensky's side.
Yeah,
Immediately.
yeah, exactly. There's
So
nothing that would make you go to JD's side.
no, because because the thing is, he's so sincere, Zelensky is. And he's telling the truth. He's telling about people who died. It's not a joke.
No.
And when you think about it, like even the debates, right? It's like, okay, Kamala discussing all the important things, right? But at
Hmm.
least it wasn't like it wasn't like this where the population is being decimated every single day. And like the
Yeah.
fact that they're able to be so like to kind of lie and JD Vance and his like bullshit propaganda, he's like tries to do the Darvo thing, the narcissist
Yeah.
flip. Oh no, but it was you. It was you. Was it Zelensky? It was you.
Spreading all that propaganda. Really?
Yeah, yeah, it was you. What? You throwing conscripts. Yeah? Was you? It was it's like it's grotesque. That's what it is. Maybe the word is grotesque.
It is. It's
It's
so egregious
grotesque.
and in your face,
Mhm,
grotesque. It
mhm,
is.
mhm.
Exactly.
And it's
Exactly
just
what
like,
it is.
wow. So
Yeah.
it's really gross. And again, and I see even the people that like in the White House, even I see that woman. I'm not again, not that I do not like them or care about the one who's a spokesperson, the blonde lady in her 20s,
Blondie.
like and she's like, ugh, like they just it's just people just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
gross. It's just gross.
Yeah.
And so because they're also I see that all those so-called Christian people like those even them they know that Ukrainians are religious people, they know that they're actually not necessarily pro doesn't make sense pro Putin in that sense, because
Right.
all it takes is to not be a serial killer. you know if you the lovable serial killer, you empathize with Zelensky because it is so sickening what they're doing,
It
right?
is so sickening. It's so sickening. Yeah.
So wow, okay, so then I see now
And you know what? It's showing me that we finally reached a point where people are open to the truth. So JD Vance is one of the people that, you know, I would say that you and I our bullshit meters. We can smell bullshit a mile away. You're going to open your mouth and you're going to say something. We can pretty much tell it's bullshit coming out of it. If you're going to tell me something like that, I can read right through it. And before, a lot of people would just accept that as an answer and as truth. But now the tides have turned and people are starting to sniff out the truth. So that stuff doesn't fly anymore. Like how disgusting it is to us, it's becoming that way to other people.
Mm.
So the truth is starting to win over all the bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like, okay, so now okay, so another thing I'm getting here is that Trump is, it's like first I think in the past, I think he tried to pretend like he wasn't so pro-Putin before, like in public. Trump would, even though he's never
Yeah.
criticized, but I don't remember him being as like blatantly a puppet like he has been lately.
Yeah.
So my sense is that is why it's almost like there's something going on. Again, the desperation is so obvious, right, Karina? There's
Yes,
something
it is.
what is because it makes them look so pathetic, right? So like
Yeah.
what is going on here? What is going on? Wow, I see. Interesting. I see that Putin and his intelligence people have like this metal plate that is red burning metal, and they're burning their hands. They're like, we're gonna get you. You know how they're scary
Yeah.
people, right?
There's
And
very scary people.
oh, and remember Patrushev, the head of who was for a long time the head of the FSB, the current, what is it, what used to be called KGB. He said it right after the election that Donald Trump knows where the forces elected him, and he knows to do the right thing for us. He
Yeah.
knowing,
Yeah.
because he does not want to have more accidental murder attempts. He does
It's
not want it. No, not wanting.
no.
So they said it. So, and I think it's true. They are under threat because, and they're like, you see the mafia movies, they have like the guy looking
Yeah, exactly.
like this.
Yeah.
Similar is what I'm getting. That it's like, we'll put you there for something. We're not putting you for free. You think you
Yeah.
sit there, do nothing, eat a McDonald's, and
Yeah.
call it a day. No, you're here to do things for us. We have in a rush now. We are in a rush. So yes,
It
and
is.
really, right?
Yeah.
The report from 1987, Karina, like it's going to 40 years. They have been prepping Trump to be their puppet. So they're like,
Yeah.
now is the time that you give all everything, we'll give you everything your whole life. Now you pay back. Because we pay for everything. You're stupid, you're disgusting, you have sex with whoever. We know we have tapes, we have information. And
Yeah.
what do you give? You are so stupid. You get to working because otherwise we tell the world what you are. We tell the world,
Yeah. They will too. They
right?
will.
So that's what I feel like they are in a pretty desperate situation. And even though
Yeah.
they're acting, and that's the thing, I see that JDVance thinks that they just think that but I see that as soon as they got off stage, the way that people are looking at them is like, even their people are like, and I see that one Susie Wiles being like, come this way, please. Uh, like not okay unless you're that manic like them, right? That in those the Trump people are having a very hard time maintaining like their straight face because
Yes, they
this
are.
time it's very obvious, and the fact that Elon Musk is everywhere, the whole thing is very bizarre.
Yeah.
So okay, now I get Karina. Then I
That's
see keep
true.
coming back to me. Mark would take with it. He's looking at his watch and he's like, "Time, TikTok, MFers,
Yeah.
TikTok." And I think this is move. I see that Macron is furious, but I think he knows. Okay. We should kind of remind me to ask next. I'm gonna say what I have to say here. Then you say what I have to say, and then
Okay.
let's go to Macron because I see him furious. He's like, "Let's go, let's do it, let's show them what we have." Because that it becomes the biggest joke of all, right? If everybody reveals what they know about the American election, then, right, Corina,
Right.
I feel
That
like
kind of just puts the whole kibosh on everything.
right? Then
Yeah.
it shows how ridiculous why it is. Then they offer the explanation of what, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I got, Queen. So now tell me what you got about the
Well,
election.
I got that whole scene again where I've gotten this before where Putin was talking to Trump after he got elected, and he's sitting there across with him from a Shark Tank. And he was telling him, Donnie boy, the minute you get in, guess what you have to do? And, all the instructions. So basically, they are just trying to carry that out. But it's so interesting with Trump right now because he just becomes to me lately this energy of this docile puppy. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that sounds weird, but that's the way he presents to me because he has absolutely no control. He is told exactly what to do by Putin and by Leon. He has no control anymore. And I mean, Putin has got too many irons in the fire at this point, too many people involved that he is even losing control because he brought in the worst person he could, which was Leon. And now he's even paying for it. So it is just like a mess everywhere. There's no control for them anymore. So we're now going to see the desperation of that.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's
I
right.
think that's how it's playing out right now.
So, so, so let's see. So I have the question. Let's go back to the thing. So when Macron visited the White House, we didn't go over it. I don't know if it was about a week ago or something like that. So what did Macron tell Trump? Because I got at some point, I feel like, did we talk about it on and off? I feel like I got this thing where he told Trump that he showed the information about the election.
Yes, we got that when he went to the opening of the I want to say Louvre. It wasn't the Louvre. The oh gosh, I'm sorry. What when they were all there, the
Oh,
dignitaries.
that's right. That's right. But what I meant is actually no. Did he when he came to the White House recently? Macron did, right? Because what
Right.
happened was that the conversation was going a certain way. Then Macron comes to the White about the Ukraine deal, right? Then Macron comes to the White House, and then Macron is able to lift all the things that were bad for Ukraine and to leave this deal somewhat neutral, therefore positive for Ukraine. And the question is, what did he do? Because he looked. Let's see if I can find it. Let me just 1 second. Okay, just 1 second. Let me see if I can find because the video I thought was really interesting of the expression of Macron. Okay. So I was talking to Karina about Macron, right? And I wanted just to go over it a little bit. It's a long actually I was saying it's a week ago. It's 4 days ago, which is crazy. Beginning of this week. So it makes sense that then Trump invites this is Macron. So as we were saying, Macron comes
Mm-hmm.
house and the conversation was one thing, and then he changes things in favor of Zelensky. Okay, so that's him correct. That's Macron correcting Trump.
To be frank, we paid. Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back. No, in fact, to be frank, we paid 60% of the total efforts, and it was so like the US loans, guarantee, grants, and we provided real money. A truce to take place, verification of that truce, and a peace agreement. Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
He's
No.
going, "Ew."
Yeah, and like
we paid 60% of the total. Yes, loans, guarantee, like the yes, loans, guarantee, grants, and we provided real money. To be clear, we have 230 billion frozen assets in Europe, frozen assets, but this is not as a collateral of a loan because this is not our belonging. So they are frozen. If at the end of the day, in the negotiation we will have with Russia, they're ready to give it to us, super. It will be loan at the end of the day, and Russia will have paid for that. If you believe that, it's okay with me.
wow. So see, like it's kind of so Karina. Okay,
Wow. Wow.
so it shows that What I thought was interesting that Macron is in control, but he also easily can handle. Do you see how smart he was of like the way that he kind of was so fast, and then Trump,
Yes,
yeah, I agree with you, and
yes,
I'm sure that Putin was like, damn, right?
yeah. Trump has no control in that situation. You know what's interesting is, Trump tries to control every situation with his voice.
Hmm.
He
Hmm.
always talks over, and he'll just say anything to talk over somebody. He doesn't get to do that there. Macron is in complete control. And when he tries to talk, Macron just keeps going and shuts him down. So I think that's a really great sign right there because, we've always felt that Macron has the goods on Trump. And so he does have control over Trump in that way.
Yeah, because it felt,
He's
Karina,
enforcing it right there.
yeah, and because it also I got this impression that Trump, when he's in there, this meeting at this time, he was weakened. It's as if I felt like Macron in privately, boom, punched him
Yes.
metaphorically, and he does not have the strength, and that's because he gave him some really bad news. And if we will all remember, I'm sure the audience also remembers that one of the first things that we found out through Jack Smith and the documents case was that Trump had taken with himself private dossier about the French president. And
Yep.
remember how for a while Putin had information on, it was clear that he kind of manipulated Macron a little bit few years ago. But then he changed. Macron changed, and he changed once Biden went into power. He must have given Macron information, right? So
Yes.
he was able. So that's that's what I feel like. It was like Macron's payback, and now Macron feels very in control, very at ease, right?
Yeah. It's for some reason I get for him, he's almost like the one that they put in charge of being the peacekeeper because and the one that can handle Trump because he was given this vital information that can
Mm.
put Trump down on his
Mhm.
knees in a
Mhm.
heartbeat.
That's right.
So and he was the one given
Hmm.
it
That's
was
right.
given to. Yes.
So, right, but I do so Karina, do you feel like so when Macron in private went to talk to Trump, did he show, wow, that's right. I see him
Yes.
showing the map. He's like, you know what, let me show you something. This is the real map of the election. Isn't that
Yes.
interesting? This is like, and he's like, oh, 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 and I get that because of the outcome of this meeting with Macron in public, they made sure that because JD Vance had been absent for a while, right? We hadn't
Mm-hmm.
much, but they're like, oh, remember JD Vance? Oh, who? Oh yeah, remember JD Vance, that guy, the VP. Oh, that's right. Let's call him in. Let's tell him. He loves to follow orders. So he's like, he's gonna do a good job. We tell him you got an A, JD Vance. So so then he shows up and does that, right?
Yeah.
So interesting. Wow,
I'm
wow.
a good soldier. I'll do
That's
whatever
right.
you need me to do.
So wow. So then now, okay, wow, wow. So Karina, now I'm thinking, okay, I see there's several things I think to discuss about this. One is how I feel like both Trump and JD Vance don't feel so they pretend to be like, oh yeah, it was great, but they know I feel like
No.
they know
No.
it didn't work, right?
Yeah, I feel like their stomachs feel like mine did
Mhm.
yesterday.
And
That's
that
what
they can't, and I see JD Vance is like drinking some water, like, oh no, everything's great, thanks, thanks. And they know that because they're playing, it's like they're just random people who they're not, they know they don't belong there. They stole the office. So they have to the person who is not capable has to overcompensate constantly because they know they
exactly.
stole it. So that's like this feeling of, like you said, they don't feel well there, and that's how the thing ended, and we looked already at Putin. And now the question is it I because I feel like this even he gives I see Macron. Oh, and the let's talk about the new German person. They are all very motivated to reveal, and I feel like they before they thought, oh, let's see what happens, but they're more motivated than before
Yeah,
to do
because they
reveal, right?
recognize this behavior. They recognize this behavior,
Mm-hmm.
know what this behavior leads to if it's not corrected. He
Mm-hmm.
cannot go unchecked. especially by other countries.
That's
They
right.
don't have to deal with what we had to deal with.
Mm.
So it doesn't have to go unchecked for them.
So wow. So okay, so what are they gonna do? I guess is what is there what are they gonna do about it? Are they gonna so they're like I see that they're kind of giddy actually. That
That's
it's
how I
sick,
feel.
that they're sick. What they did to Zelenskyy were like, you know what? Just let's find out who gets the last laugh now. Just wait. So so they're planning and I see they're like, there's something. And there's
Yeah.
some meeting in Brussels. There's something. There's some other, and I see, the face of Ursula von Leyen, her name is. She is, I think, the head of the European Union, and they have a meeting. They're gonna discuss it, and they will make it public. When that's right, I think there's something about for some reason. Is let me actually look at if there was a meeting. Okay, let's see. Let's see. EU NATO meeting. Ursula. So let's say March 2025. Let's see. Wow, there is.
Is there
So,
really?
yeah, so it's on March 6th. That
Oh,
makes
wow.
perfect sense.
Oh, my God.
So let me show you this.
Bills.
Okay, so because that's I think because here, okay, so EU plans extraordinary summit on defense Ukraine on March 6th. So, European leaders will meet for an extraordinary summit to discuss additional support for Ukraine, European security guarantees, and how to pay for European defense needs. So, the chairman of
Wow.
EU summits, blah, blah, blah. So, this was announced 5 days ago, 5 days ago, here it says. And then, because then that's where she will be. That's right. Because they're meeting this at the end of this event. Wow. So that will be okay. I know. Okay. I
Yeah.
know the 10th of March is a Monday. So, wow, could it be that wow, that would be interesting. Fun,
It
interesting.
will be interesting.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. March
So,
is a roller coaster of a month in that
yes,
way.
because I see that really that it's because remember I think I've said this before that when I remember thinking when by the time I travel, something will have come out
Mm-hmm.
about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that what happens is they will make the announcement of this like after this meeting, they will make an announcement of the budget and all those things. And is it because the US, here we have information that we would like to share? I think they will share information that we have reason to believe the election was not. I think they will go straight up say it. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
Well, because they
Because
have the proof.
that's right. And then they pull out the charade
Right.
because they know, and I think also, Corina, they know something about their plans, the big plans for martial law and all that.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
to get it ahead. They have to get it out ahead of them so that I mean, of course, it's dangerous because we're dealing with very dangerous people, but look at what they're already doing without pressure, right?
Exactly.
They know
Exactly.
that only, and I feel like they have information, the intelligence agencies, and those people talk so much. I don't think Elon Musk is particularly careful, right? I think he talks a lot.
Not at all.
He's on
Not
drugs, right?
at all. He
So,
is the kind that will spill anything. He's the kind of guy that will tell you all your secrets in the bar
mhm,
that you told him to keep
right.
when he's hopped up on drugs.
Mhm.
Just gives it all away.
Yeah, so I feel like they know the plans, pretty serious plans, so they have to get it ahead.
Yes.
Get out ahead, then I see that they get the okay with the US. That's right. Interesting. Then I get the US military, and I see these gates that they're gonna not Europe directly, but there's a connection with those, the highest level of the military here, and it's something along those lines. Okay.
Yes. Which is
Wow.
what we've seen before.
Wow. Wow. And then I also so I wanted to mention something I talked to Corinne about this earlier today. So I received some messages about the video yesterday, that and details about and the details about it, and also the mentioning the lack of details that we had really. And I feel like this, yeah, there's something I think we're not meant to know exactly the details, and a lot of things the details are not set, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
And I really don't, and I feel like part of it is that if we are focused on a specific outcome, then we kind of make strengthen it almost. Does it make sense? So even if it's possible that it could be an explosion, could be a tsunami, could be this or that, it could be many things, but it's best that we don't over focus on something, right?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
so, right.
You know, sometimes the devil is in the details. And I
Hmm.
always tell this to Rosie. You know, I'm one that gets the bigger picture. I think most of you that have watched this know me. A lot of
Hmm.
times, I'll be honest, you know, I know sometimes I get frustrated that I don't get more details, but on the other hand, I'm the one that tells Spirit, don't give those details to me. I don't want to see them. I
Hmm.
don't want to know the details because
Hmm.
it's too hard for me in my body. So we're not always meant to know the exact details, or we wouldn't walk through life.
Hmm.
We'd be
Hmm.
afraid to take every single step.
Hmm. That's right.
So
That's right.
in
So,
this case, we are not meant to know, or you know, somebody in this, we would know, somebody would
hmm.
tell us the details.
Hmm.
We're told what we're meant to say.
That's right. And because I feel like there's a way for us, I still see us like sending light and sending the energy to for these attempts to be dissolved, because I really honestly saw that as infuriating as this video is of JD Vance and Trump attacking Zelensky, they feel very weak to me. It really
Yes,
do.
me too.
And things it's because the energy has shifted, I feel like,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
So,
To me, the energy has shifted, and it shifted a while. You know, it shifted a while ago, but it does feel. And like, I just, man, Macron's power is, he is very powerful right now. I think he
hmm.
is in on this whole thing. I think
Hmm.
he knows about all the details.
Hmm.
That's what's going to happen. That's why he has so much control, and he can kind of manipulate Trump in the way they need him,
Hmm.
because he's the one that they have put in that position to do that for them,
Hmm.
because he's got the leverage on Trump as well.
Hmm. That's right. That's right. So,
Yeah,
very interesting.
it
It's
is very
really, really
interesting.
very interesting. So very nice, very nice.
Yeah. To me, that's exciting stuff. I mean, that's the way it makes me feel. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost a giddy feeling, because first of all, they look like absolute fools.
Mm.
And how, oh my God, it's how embarrassing is that for our leaders to do
Mm-hmm.
something like that, first of
Mm-hmm.
all.
Mm-hmm.
But it just makes them look like absolute fools,
Mm-hmm.
if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes them look weak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have, when you, I'm sorry, when you're a man sitting up there, can you just negotiate like a man? Can you negotiate like a person would, instead of being a bully and having to say what you have to say? It's like a child, a 2-year old, and a man having an argument. That's what it looked like to me. Very frustrating.
Mm. That's right.
But
Right.
yeah, they're not the ones with the control right now.
Wow.
May look it, but they don't. They're not having it.
Wow. Yeah. So very good. So it feels right, Quinn. It really does feel right. This like the
Mm-hmm.
this is another one. So okay. So let's see. Let's just pause 1 second just to double check if there's anything else. Okay, guys, so we went back to the video just to double check, and we both felt that it's not necessary to listen to every moment of it because the feeling is the same. It's like it's this feeling that they're pretending. It's like this, when you have a like a crime, a mystery, like a crime mystery. You're not supposed to, if you already know who killed the guy, there's no point in keeping up the suspense. And we all know that they work for Putin. They're speaking as if the world doesn't know that they work for Putin, but we all do. It's
Right.
very obvious. And that's where they fall flat. And it's not, and I see that there's like next week for them. It's just the heaviness feeling for them is just like they can't win. It feels like
Yeah.
that just everything just feels really, really hard for them. Even though they have all the propaganda tools at their disposal, they have all the evil and all the lies at their disposal, it just doesn't stick. And they definitely lose the momentum. So
Yeah.
that's what I guess. So, right, Greta?
Yes. I get this image of them trying to basically walk through a sandstorm,
Mm-hmm.
blowing them back. Every step they take, they get blown back too. Every step they take, they get blown back 3. It's
Yeah.
just going to be like that for them.
Wow. So very fascinating to watch. I know, very
Yeah,
satisfying actually to see it. So, but that's it. That's it for today, guys. Okay. So have a good weekend. Okay, and have a good
Yes.
Friday. And I'll be back tomorrow. Okay.
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 Bye, everybody.
Bye. 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 Okay. Bye.